Hi guys, I never thought I will be filming a video like this, but here we are, and I decided that it would be very helpful to share our journey. Although it is a very touchy, vulnerable, difficult subject to talk about, because it's so intimate and personal, but at the same time there shouldn't be stigma or taboo attached to it anymore, because it is so incredibly common. Every sixth couple experiences fertility issues. So I'm gonna share our story. So Rokas and I have been trying to get pregnant for 2.5 years. We got married in 2022 on the 2nd of July, and we thought right after our wedding we're gonna try for a baby. And we decided to enjoy the summer and then start in autumn, and it's been 2.5 years since. After a year we decided to go to a clinic and see if anything might be wrong, what is going on, why are we unable to get pregnant. We both had numerous tests done, and it turns out that he has astenozoospermia, which means that there's not enough of motile sperm. The sperm is slow and there's not a lot of it basically. And after 2 years of trying, we were recommended to go and try IUI. So this is what we did. I was getting ready for my first treatment. I had to take letrozole for 5 days, cycle day 3 to 7. And this is me documenting our journey. As I said, we had many a clinic visit, many supplements, blood work, all kind of things done, and here we are getting ready for our first IUI. It's 3 a.m. and I need to do my trigger shot. I'm gonna go wake Rokas up and ask him to do it. I hate needles, so I'm gonna ask him. I know it's not gonna hurt, but I just...
1, 2, 3, Chanelette.
I'm gonna have matcha this morning because I don't want to have coffee before the procedure. Hi guys, I have about 5 minutes to get ready and leave, so I'm gonna do a super quick makeup, just a bit of concealer, blush, and something on my lips. Yeah, it's 22nd of January 2025, and I'm going for my first ever IUI procedure. Rokas is already at the clinic. He's done his deed and he's waiting for me there. So what they're gonna do now is take his sperm. So I'm getting straight to the point. They're gonna take his sperm, centrifuge it, just leave the good quality sperm. So when I arrive at the clinic, I'll have to lay down. They will use a catheter. It's gonna be like a sort of plasticky needle, so it's not gonna hurt or anything, and they're gonna put it in me. It's a really simple procedure. It's not gonna hurt. Well, it shouldn't hurt at all. And then I'm gonna have to lay there for like 15 minutes, and then I'll be good to go and, you know, get on with my day. But I'm gonna take today really slowly and probably not do anything, just like stay on the couch and do some work on my laptop and maybe later read a book, but I'm not gonna do any physical activity. And yeah, I'm going to take today really slowly because I really want this to work. We've been trying to get pregnant for 2.5 years, and now is our first procedure to get pregnant. So we're really hoping it will work, it will stick. We're gonna have to wait 2 weeks to know that, so it's gonna kill us. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna think about every little thing in my body and think, maybe that's pregnancy, maybe it worked. What are these symptoms? I know that I won't probably feel anything for like a week, because you need to wait for the surge of hormone to start experiencing any like pregnancy symptoms, if pregnancy is to happen. But we're really hoping, like, I'm going in there thinking that it's gonna work. This is my mindset, but I'm still really realistic. I'm not worried, I'm not stressed at all in the slightest. Like, I think I'm going with the flow. If it's meant to be, it will be. You know, that's my outlook. I don't want to stress myself out too much. Because there are really big chances it's not gonna work, because the success rate is only 8%. 8%, which is such a small number. Like, it's crazy, right? So the chances are really small. But I have 2 grown follicles. I went a couple days for a scan, and the doctor, by the way, like the loveliest doctor ever, she's incredible. She said that there are 2 grown follicles. I don't know the size of them at the moment. Maybe I'll be told today. So our chances are a bit higher to get pregnant because there are 2 of them. We are super hopeful. And yesterday at 3 a.m., 3 in the morning, I had to have a trigger shot. So last night I experienced a bit of pulling on my left side, and this morning as well, it's still there. I have this like pulling sensation on the left side of my ovary. Yeah, so I think that's like ovulation happening. That's why I'm going into the clinic. And then I have this stone. I think it's jade stone. I was given this by someone who believes that we'll get pregnant. Let's just say someone that I don't know, but someone who sees things, sort of like a medium. I don't want to say medium, but it's a person who like sees things pretty clearly for people. And through our friends, we got this from that person, because they just like, yeah, that woman believes in us, and she gave the stone for us to get pregnant. So I'm gonna take it with me. I'm not prejudiced. I don't necessarily believe in things like that, but if it's gonna influence at least a tiny bit, I'm gonna put it in my pocket. And I'll see you later after the procedure. Excuse the light, it just got really dark. So we just came back from the IUI procedure, and the news aren't that great, to be honest. We went there really hopeful, so the doctor greeted us, and then embryologist came in with a sample, and she said, well, the news aren't that great because the count of the good motile sperm is really low. So to have a successful IUI procedure, the sperm count should be at least 15 million. Rocca's was 6 million a couple of months ago, and now it has dropped to 0.8 million, which is such a drastic change. The doctor asked if he was sick, if he had COVID, if he smoked, and he didn't have any real changes in his lifestyle. Well, they also asked if he experienced some stress, which he did experience stress, but he's not saying that's anything major, you know. He doesn't feel that impact on him. It could be stress, it could be anything else, we don't really know. I said we didn't have like any major lifestyle changes. The doctor said our job is to warn you that the chances, the possibility of getting pregnant is really low, and you have to make the decision if you want to do it anyway. So we had a minute to just sit and, you know, decide what we want to do, and we decided to go ahead and try it because obviously we prepared for it. I was taking letrozole, I had a trigger shot, Rokas was taking supplements, and we were there, and like the sperm was ready to be injected, and we're like, you know, we've gone all this way, let's do the last step and try it. So this is what we did. I had IUI done. It's not painful at all. Doctor gave me progesterone to take for 2 weeks, like the little, what are these called, like melty things that you put inside your vagina. I'll have to take those for 2 weeks. If I get my period, I'm gonna have to stop taking progesterone and then prepare for IVF. She told us of trying IUI for the second time if this round is not successful, because she said like Rocco's spermogram results fluctuate too much. We haven't been able to conceive for over 2 years. If this round is not successful, next month I'll have my period, and then we'll have to do a bunch of different tests, blood work, and then I'll have to take medicine for 10 days. I'll have to inject into my tummy. So yeah, that's another plan further along if this is not successful, which we're really hoping it is, but we're also being realistic that the chances are pretty low. Anything can happen. Miracles do happen. So we're hoping it sticks, and then if not, we'll be okay and we'll try IVF. Now we have to wait for 2 weeks to do the pregnancy test, which will kill me probably. And since I'll be taking progesterone, I think I'll be worried about like any difference in my body, and I'll think maybe this is pregnancy. Obviously I don't know when this video will go public, but baby dust anyway. And yeah, those are the news. Such a sunny day. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Hi, it's been a month since I last updated you, and it made me realize how quickly the time goes. The result is negative. I didn't get pregnant, and we're very happy that I didn't. And now I'm gonna tell you why. After the treatment, there was a 2-week wait. I had 0 symptoms, and I personally had very, very low expectations. My husband is a bit more positive than I am, but I kind of like to listen to my body, and I do feel when something changes. So after 2 weeks, I got my period on the day I was supposed to get it. My periods have always been very regular. So I get it, it's an extremely painful period. For the treatment, there was a lot of tissue that was grown by stimulation. And so when my body was shedding and flushing out the tissue, it was so painful. I never really had painful periods. They were always pretty mild, and this time it was difficult to sit. The day my period started, I had to go in for an ultrasound to check if everything was okay. And then on the same day, I got my blood work done to start preparing for IVF. So my blood results came the same day, and they were all fine. Everything was normal except for one thing. My rubella result was positive. I started reading about it, and I was like, oh my god, thank goodness I didn't get pregnant, because a pregnant woman cannot have rubella virus. It results in deformities, in deafness, in birth defects, in stillbirths. Rokas and I started thinking where I could have contracted it, because usually you get vaccinated against it when you are a kid. And I asked my mom if I had it, and she said, you know, back in the day you had all of the symptoms for it when you were a child, and the doctor said it's rubella. So my mom was sure that I have immunity for it, and turns out I didn't. Made me pretty anxious for the upcoming treatment, because you need to be so cautious of who you see and where you hang out. When you're preparing for something as big as trying to conceive, you do not want to take the risks. And so now going into IVF, I think I will not want to see anybody, just in case, to not contract any virus or whatever. Like I want to be so careful. And I didn't really have any symptoms besides headache for 2 days and sore itchy eyes. Other than that, I didn't have any rash or anything. Rokas had to do his blood work. His results are good as well. I'm also very glad that my thyroid results are good right now, because they used to be over 4, and for pregnancy you need to have like 2.5. And so the next step now is I'll be going to the clinic on the 1st, 2nd or 3rd day of my cycle next month. So that's in 2 weeks exactly. I'll have an ultrasound done and I'll be given injections that I'll need to start. I was told that I'll need to inject myself for 10 days. So yeah, it starts in 2 weeks. I think I'm ready now, but I'm not sure how my body will react. I'm a little anxious. I don't like needles. I'm scared of that. I'll ask Rokas to inject my medicine into my belly every single day. You need to do it on the exact hour. So I don't know, like I think I'm ready for it, but at the same time I'm a bit scared, which I think is natural. I also don't know how my body will react. There's one risk, because my doctor said that I have a big egg reserve, which means that I have a higher chance of hyperstimulation, which is very scary. She said that this is what's gonna happen most likely in your case, that the belly will swell. Basically, after the trigger shot, I'll have to come into the clinic where they will take my eggs, they will take the sperm, put them together in a lab and watch the fertilization happen. If it does happen, embryos will form, and we'll have to freeze the embryos and wait for 2 months for my body to calm down. And then after those 2 months, they will be able to put the embryos into my uterus and then wait for the magic to happen. So it's gonna be a bit of a longer process due to the chances of hyperstimulation happening. That is it for this update. I'll see you in the next episode. I'll probably film a little bit of the injecting process and tell you how I feel. Yeah, document as much as possible. So thank you for watching. Bye!